Hi, BanDana Gramma here. It's a gorgeous sunny day, and I'm going to be cleaning up the garden some, taking you along. Right now I'm standing near my espaliered fruit trees, and they're in a circular configuration. And I'm going to be digging up this area right here like I had last year, but it's all grown back in, so I have a garden bed that comes all the way around here, and I could plant flowers in there, maybe even tomatoes. So that's what I'm doing today, is digging up this area here so I can plant a garden bed. So I've got about half done from this end all the way down here around the bend. But now I have to do from where I ended off right here at the bend, around the corner, around another bend, and all the way to the end over there. And that's going to be the circumference around my espaliered fruit trees that surround our seating area. Hooray, I did it! Here's the area right outside the back screen porch with the gala apple. And it's all cleared around the bend here, past the little bicycle to the apricot tree. And continuing along to the superior plum tree. Going around the bend over to the Asian pear tree. So this is the circumference of our espaliered fruit orchard, which I'm making into a living fence that we can pick, and it surrounds our seating area. And I think it's going to be looking pretty after I get flowers planted around that circumference. Put some pots of flowers in by the chairs, get colorful cushions on. It'll be nice. And this is my lettuce bed that I'm replanting this year. I've already raked off the crushed leaves that were covering it all winter. I've already put in several rows of different lettuces, and I'm putting in some kale now, making plant markers so I know what everything is. And at the end you'll see me broadcast some red lettuces. It's a salad mix. And I've also put in some bright light Swiss chard. I love the look of that in my garden, and of course it tastes great. So here's what I just planted. I put in Swiss chard, bright light Swiss chard. I put in butter crunch lettuce. I put in bib lettuce. I put in kale and spinach. And of course the red wing lettuce mix. And this is my onion bed. All these have come back from last year. There's several different kinds of onions in here, including leeks and Egyptian walking onions and candied onions. and yellow onions. Another bed of cool weather crops include turnips, beets, parsnips, and a couple of different kinds of cabbages. Also wintering over were these garlic plants that came up nicely and these carrots. And my fruit trees, some are coming into bloom. This is my Asian pear planted 3 years ago as a bare root stick, doing beautifully. This is my peach planted 2 springs ago from Stark Brothers as a bare root stick about 4 feet tall. Now it's probably 8 feet tall. This is my nectarine. Again, 2 years ago I planted it from Stark Brothers as a bare root stick. And this is a bubblegum plum, getting lots of nice blooms on it. Again, planted 2 springs ago from Stark Brothers. This is a Granny Smith apple, also planted a couple years ago. It's later to bloom. This is my cherry tree. It's planted about 5 years ago and it's not yet come into bloom, but it's budding nicely. And I always get cherries on it. It's a pretty little tree. This is an early Winoche apple. I got this one from Burnt Ridge Farms out in the state of Washington through the mail. And this is another cherry. This is a Bing cherry. Planted about 5 years ago. This is my superior plum tree. Had lots of nice blossoms on it. I expect to get some fruit this year. It was again planted from Stark Brothers 2 springs ago. And it's espaliereding to the fence. This is my apricot tree. Have not gotten blooms on this one yet, but maybe this year, later in the season. It's spreading out nicely along the espalier. And this is my Gala apple. Also 2 years old from Stark Brothers, and it blooms a little later in the season, so it's just getting buds now. Again, it's being trained onto the fence to make a pickable living fence. This is my fig tree. Just starting to green out on the tips. It'll have nice big leaves soon.